Friends, this is Bhupati Raj, Mantra IAS Academy, Hyderabad. Yeah, I'm going to upload now 50 MCQs of Indian polity. Very important questions. Already I have uploaded many videos. I'll show the question paper, my youngsters. Just see this and try all these questions. Of course, I'll give every question, no doubt the answer here. First, of course, we have these are the questions, youngsters. Observe this point here. Beautiful questions in this case. And I'll do one thing. I'll start with the question number 9 here. Yes. After retirement, the President of India is entitled to monthly pension of how much amount of money? So, beta, I think, basically to know this question, you have to know the one important point that what's the present salary of the President of India? President of India's present salary is, that's, Baba, 5 lakh. We have 5 lakhs of money. And after retirement, along with many other benefits, right? Rent-free accommodation, a wonderful bungalow, right? And travel free. At the same time, what expenses for secretariat. And even one more point also mentioned, beta. That is, after death of the president, even wife of the President of India will get another 50% of this. Means implies what, sir? I'll tell you. So this is the retirement after, after retirement, the President of India will get 50% of the salary. That's called as 2,50,000 today. This is what actually we have. One point, along with the different, I told you, accommodation free, at the same time, secretariat, travel free, like that, medical facilities, all the things are there. A wonderful status, because no doubt, President of India, he was. So therefore, after retirement, and unfortunately, after death of the President of India, the spouse gets 50% of this amount, implies 125,000. So this is what you call in the question number 9, beta. Now, question number, yes. I'll come from the first question here. According to the Constitution of India, the term district judge shall not include, after this option A, chief presidency magistrate, B, sessions judge, C, tribunal judge, D, chief judge of a small class court. But in this case, district court will not, of course, that shall not include, in fact, what you can say, tribunal judge, because it won't comes under that part. Then come to the point of question number 22nd. It's very important, and definitely you can expect this type of question, Paka. According to the preamble to the Constitution of India, India is a, but this is actually, I think, before 42nd Amendment, this was not there. So 42nd Amendment onwards, we have these words here. First option A, sovereign democratic republic, sovereign socialist secular democratic republic, sovereign socialist democratic republic, sovereign secular democratic republic. This is what you can say, sovereign socialist secular democratic republic is the answer B, beta. This is after 42nd Amendment. Remember, this is called as mini constitution, and we have one more question, and of course 2-3 questions upon the same thing that I am going to tell you that. Option 3, question number 3 here. Ad hoc judges in the Supreme Court can be appointed by option A, the President of India in consultation with the Chief Justice of India, the President in his discretion, the CJI, you can say the Chief Justice of India, with prior consent of the President of India. D, the Union Law Minister after consulting the CJI. But our option for this question, Article 127 says this part here. Just go through this article, you can find this one. Article 127 says that the Chief Justice of India, with prior consent of the President of India, of course, appoint ad hoc judges. So next point, question number 4, upon the same type of question here. Ad hoc judges may be appointed in the Supreme Court. Yes. Why, sir? What's the reason? One point is to dispose of outstanding cases. B, to make up lack of quorum. Then C, to accommodate surplus judges. For all of the above, of course, all the above in this case. But the option is B, to make up lack of quorum. So what is quorum implies? 1/10 of the thing is always called as quorum. But in the case of this also, of course. So in the case of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, quorum is what? I am explaining that part is 1/10. So according to this one here, quorum must be there, right? So what is that? Why they will be appointed? Reason is ad hoc judges to make up, of course, that's option in this case B, lack of quorum. 5th question. Additional duties can be assigned to a state public service commission on recommendation of, beta, I think state public service. You have UPSC, you might be knowing that Union Public Service Commission, same fashion. We have state public service commissions also. Even there are different cases. Example, 2-3 states should have one, otherwise every state has their own State Public Service Commission, like that. But point is here, some duties, especially to this Public Service Commission, additional duties can be assigned to SPSC on recommendation of President of India. But this is mentioned in Article 321. Just please observe this point. You can get it. Article 321 is, if you go through that, you can get complete picture. Go to question number 6, my dear. After a bill has been passed by Parliament and sent to the President for assent. I'll repeat. After a bill has been passed by the Parliament and sent to the President of India for assent, then the President has different options. Now the question is what actually in this case? He cannot refuse assent. He can return it any number of times. He can return it only once. He can kill it by not taking action. But the option in this case, you say, C, correct answer. He can return any ordinary bill just once. I have mentioned a point in this case is ordinary bill. In the case of money bills, no question of course, because prior permission is mandatory, therefore what? No question of sending back. And constitutional amendment bills also, no power to President of India has to assent it, that's all. So only in the case of ordinary bills, so he can return it only once. What's the meaning of this? After example, I'm just what my suggestion are so and so, my recommendations are this one. Please reconsider the bill. He can send it back to the House, of course. Then automatically the cabinet, if it is taking it as serious and some amendments, otherwise some point of addition or deletions, then okay. Otherwise, if it comes as it is also, the president, there is no question of sending back. Even that up at that point also I'm going to cover. Option C here. Then go to 7th question. After a bill is passed by both houses and sent to the president, see better. Option A, he must accord assent. He may return it for reconsideration. He may refuse it. Options D, both B and C. Baba, don't think the question number 6 is different options. In this case, different application. After a bill is passed by both houses of the parliament and sent to the President of India, then he has two options in this case. One is he may return the concerned bill for reconsideration. The second point is what you say. He can simply use his pocket veto. That is nothing but what? Simply keep the bill aside, right? Generally, that won't happen. In fact, it's very rare cases. Only once in the case of the friction between if I'm not wrong, Rajiv Gandhi term it is, Gnani Jail Singh was the president. Yeah, then at that time it was pocket veto. I hope it was postal department bill something. Is it? Please go through that. But I'm sure that is Pakka Gnani Jail Singh. Gnani Jail Singh was the president of India. So now in this case, President can use, of course, two things. He may return it for reconsideration, or you can say he may refuse assent. So option D, my dear. Go to question number 8, ma. What's the question number 8 here? Observe this. After an ordinary bill is passed by Lok Sabha and sent to Rajya Sabha, it may, right? Option A, pass it. B, suggest amendments. C, return it. D, both A and B. Baba, in this case, it's a very important point. See, any bill, right? First of all, this is example originated in what you can say, please? Lok Sabha. Then automatically it's sent to which one, please? Rajya Sabha, beta. The story is there at that time. It may pass it, or you can say suggest some amendment and see, return it. This return it is no question of it is not suitable here. So beta here, both A and B according to this one here, D is the right answer. Because according to the question, I have to take option D beta. Then go to question number 10, my dear. The act which set up Board of Control in Britain to control East India Company affairs was. So beta, you just go back to that one after. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing in this case, the Regulating Act is not the answer later. Then so, option A, Regulating Act 1773, B, Pitt's India Act 1784, C, Charter Act 1833, D, Government of India Act 1858. Now tell me the point in this case is Pitt's India Act of 1784, B, correct answer. Then go to 11th question, please. After retirement, a High Court judge can practice law in which court actually? Example, High Court judge. I'm not talking about Chief Justice of High Court. Every word is important while writing the examination, please. So in this case, just a judge of High Court retired from certain High Court. Imagine some state High Court. You can take, of course, like Telangana state, or you can say Madhya Pradesh. Some he retired from that state. So he has different options. What are those? Only in lower courts he can practice. B, in the same court he can practice. C, anywhere. D, in another High Court or Supreme Court. Remember, example, the concerned judge was retired from, he has been retired from this year, you can say Telangana High Court. So he will not practice in same court, you can say that same Telangana High Court, but he can practice in any other High Court of India. That's what in any, you can say that any state High Court, at the same time Supreme Court also. So he has two options here. That's better. D, right answer, my dear. Then go to question number 12. Baba, in this case, I want to expand all these, yes, you can say this abbreviation, MISA, NSA, and ESMA, ESMA. So question 12 is, writ jurisdiction is not available. Okay, writ jurisdiction not available against which acts? Yes, because Baba, when we have emergency services, no question of giving, of course, that's a point in this case. So MISA, it's an act of called as maintenance of internal security. Maintenance of internal security, that expansion. NSA stands for National Security Act. National Security Act, of course, better. ESMA, you might be observed many times this one. Essential Services Maintenance Act. Essential Services Maintenance Act. This is what you can say. So now, yes, not available against which acts means all. So what do you say that in this case, 1, 2, 3 better. So option B, right answer. Now, impeachment proceedings in Supreme Court were initiated against, the only one thing happened, right? Previously, that is Justice V. Ramaswamy. I'm not talking about today's High Court because point is different here. It was Delhi High Court judge is not the matter I'm not discussing here. It's a previous level in Supreme Court were initiated against Justice V. Ramaswamy. Of course, he resigned it. Now resigned from that post. Right. 14th question here. All statements regarding money bill are incorrect except please. Very important point. All statements regarding money bill are incorrect except means I think you understood the point better. Majority, only one is correct in this case. What is that we have to say? Means what? 3 are wrong. Option A, can be initiated in both houses. Exactly wrong. Can be introduced in Rajya Sabha. Definitely no. C, can be introduced in Lok Sabha but must be approved by Rajya Sabha. That's not correct. And D, can't be, of course, it can be introduced in only Lok Sabha. RS cannot, called as Rajya Sabha, cannot amend, only recommend. Exactly right, better. That means money bills must be of the only Lok Sabha's matter. Right? I think you know that is what you say, 14 days time will be given to the Rajya Sabha. After passing in Lok Sabha, it goes to them. Within 14 days of time, they have to react. If they want to suggest some amendments, okay, they can, but not, of course, they won't refuse it and nothing doing that. Even if they don't, of course, pass this money bill in 14 days also, deemed to be passed. That's it. So that's the position of Rajya Sabha in the case of money bills, my dear. So Lok Sabha's role is only the very important point. I think you know about money bills, Article 110 and 112 is budget. You might be knowing all these things, right? Come to the point of 15th question. All statements and about whom this is one? All statements about vice presidents are correct, except. That means what? One is, all are correct, but one is wrong. What is that? We have to find out. See, observe the questions here. So while reading the question, please take and very minute points to focus that what that fellow's intention. Option A, minimum age of the contestant, you can see the Vice President of India. To contest as Vice President of India, the minimum age is 35 years. Correct answer. And electoral college consists of elected members of both houses. That's now, I'll tell that. In death of president, Vice President can act for 6 months and Vice President is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. I'll tell you here, minimum age to contest in this case of Vice Presidential elections, 35 years, no doubt, and President also the same. And Vice President of India is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. That's a fundamental point. You know that one. Baba, one more point here. In death of president, Vice President definitely act as President of India. The maximum period is 6 months. In between, of course, the elections we have to face, and at the same time, within 6 months of time, the new president will come. But maximum period is 6 months here. So this is what you say. The why it is wrong, sir. People will, of course, there's a chance of keeping B also because what is there? What's wrong in it, sir? Only one word is wrong, my dear. Electoral college consists of, remember here, elected members of both houses is wrong in this one. Implies what? MPs of Lok Sabha and MPs of Rajya Sabha, beta. That's the point in this case. Of course, it is nothing but electoral college. Provided one point is that, what's the case of Rajya Sabha? 12 members, of course, the President of India nominates to this Rajya Sabha, 12 members, that you know that. So they will also participate in this vice presidential elections, my dear. So they can use their vote in fact. So ultimately option is B is, for this question, option B, right answer, beta. Now go to question number 16. Cases regarding interpretation of constitution are brought under Supreme Courts. Which jurisdiction? We have different types of jurisdictions, you know, original jurisdiction, beta, appellate jurisdiction and advisory jurisdiction. But in this case, this comes under appellate jurisdiction, please. Yes, brought under cases regarding interpretation of constitution. Yes, it is a purely, ultimately constitution is original jurisdiction also. So option is A, my dear. Then come to the point of 17th. Among fundamental duties, which is included, yeah, original jurisdiction is confirmed, it is, no question of it is, right? Come to the point of 17th. Among fundamental duties, which is included, option A, oh, fundamental duties, right? That's I told you, 42nd Amendment also, this added 51st A. Article 51A speaks about fundamental duties, my dear, because I think, this is 12 to 35 fundamental rights, 36 to 51 DPSP, Direct to Principles of State Policy, and my dear, 51, it's an amendment. That is what you can say, 36 to 51, no? This is DPSP. After this one, 51, after you can say amendment is that this is added. So this is fundamental duties in Article 51, of course, by 51, this is 42nd Amendment in 51A. The point is, yes, which is included? Option A, preserve composite culture, protect Harijans, C, promote Hindi, did not accept dowry. Beta, option is A, right answer, my dear. Then go to question number 18th. An aggrieved public servant can challenge CLAT decision, right? Which one? Yes, it is Central Administrative Tribunal is there, and you have no doubt you are an IAS officer and you have certain problem. After this decision, you can go to definitely what? Decision before the High Court, right? Later, it's a stage wise. And CLAT decision, you're not satisfied with that decision. Simply you can approach High Court. That's the point in this case, right? So any civil servant can approach the first CLAT, then High Court. That's called as Central Administrative Tribunal. Now, question number 19th. Election petition is presented under, right? So, beta, this is what you can say. RPA, we can say that. Representation of People's Act is giving this power by option B, law made by legislature. Next, my dear, a non-MP minister must become member within. Example, any person, and Prime Minister choice was a person that because he was expert in a certain field, and he wants to keep him as the minister of, in his ministry, he wants to give one portfolio. So he will, of course, the Prime Minister can choose that great personality, but he has to be the member of the House within 6 months of time, beta. So therefore the question is, a non-MP minister must become the member within 6 months, option B. Then go to question number 21 here. Interpretation of constitution is based on spirit of, option A, preamble, B, direct to principles of state policy, fundamental rights, and D, fundamental duties. Beta, everything is based on this is what you call interpretation of constitution based on spirit of preamble. Then go to question number 27. Second, governor ordinance valid for maximum, no doubt 6 weeks. And you can say in the case of what? 6 weeks after the reassembly, in the case of what do you call that? Even we can say maximum is 3 months I can use for governor's point, but presidential concept is I'll use pakka 6 months better. So this is what I'm taking. Presidential ordinance must be approved within 6 weeks. This is very important. Okay, there I can use the 3 months, of course, if needed the maximum period. But in this case, I'll use definitely 6 weeks after reassembly. That's very important point, of course. Then go to question number 24. Ordinary bill can originate. Ordinary bill, any bill, except money bills, of course, that is what you can say. That is, any bill can be initiated or you can say originate in any house. So that option A, Lok Sabha, B, Rajya Sabha, C, either house of the either house of parliament implies what you can say Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha beta. So ordinary bill can originate in either house, that might be in this Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Non-member minister period is, I just mentioned that 6 months. He has to become the member of either house within 6 months of time. That's the point. I think, majority we have wonderful ministers are there in same kind, right? Now, question number 27 beta. Article 26 it is. Article 17 deals with, it comes under, of course, fundamental rights and the right to equality, 14 to 18 part. In this case, very crucial one is Article 17 because it deals with abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability comes under Article 17, of course, that is C option here. Cripps proposal offered just dominion status, option D beta. Now Article 19, freedoms count, we have 6 freedoms are there, 19, 1, 90, like that we can say. So 6 freedoms are there, and you know that one you can simply, right, set in anywhere, you can start any business of your own choice, all the 6 what do you can say that, freedoms. But Article 359 deals with, my dear, I told you that 352, 356 and 360. Base point is what? Article 352 is national emergency. Now extension. Article 356 is what? State emergency. And Article 360, of course, this is what you call president rule in a state. Now this is national emergency. But 360 is financial emergency. So we have 359. That is what's the main point in this case, sir. Yes. Suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. That's a major point mentioned in Article 359. It's a very important question, please. Article 359 deals with suspension of fundamental rights during the emergency beta. Now, previously, of course, now it is repealed. It's repealed. No doubt, it's over. Article 350 repealed, but it was previously applicable to what? Jammu and Kashmir. So that was no need of discussing upon this point. Question number 31. First attempt to draft constitution traced to, yes, Nehru report. That's of 1928. Nehru report, it's of 1928. If you just go through that, you can find it better. Non-member who can participate in parliament proceedings, yes. And he is, of course, a very wonderful and is nothing but what government advocate, right? Purely, like, we have individual advocates for our cases. And so to defend government in court, Supreme Court or any courts in India, high courts, everywhere he can go there. He goes to all places. So he is known as Attorney General of India. It's, of course, a constitutional post appointed by the President of India, no doubt. So non-member, he is not a member of the House, but he can participate in the proceedings. That facility given to this great personality, Attorney General of India. Now, beta, what is quorum? I just mentioned that. Example, the House, we have 543 members are there in Lok Sabha, my dear. Right? Imagine that. Okay, take a 542 are there, imagine so. Or you can say 540, you take it. So what is the meaning of quorum in place? If it is 540, 54 members must present in the House to proceed this fact, to conduct the session. So in this case, 550, in fact, 55 members must be there. Otherwise, the House will not function on that day, please. So quorum is 1/10 of the total strength of the House. Now, Baba, voting age under 61st Amendment, it is actually previously it was 21 years. It's reduced to 18 years by this amendment. That's, of course, 61st Amendment, right? It's a term of Rajiv Gandhi's prime ministerialship. It is, of course, we'll say generally 1989, and this act was, of course, process started in 88 only. So in 1989, 61st Amendment, it was, of course, voting age. Now, presently, what I have to write, sir? So, shall I write 18 or 21 or what, sir? Now, because of this one, 61st Amendment, you have to write 18 years better. How much was previously means? You can say 21 years. Yeah, President of India. Okay, now we can have, not President of India, present we have the India. Present India has how many states and how many union territories? No doubt we have 28 states and 8 union territories better. Chief Justice of India's salary, CJI. Chief Justice of India's salary decided by whom? Option A, Parliament. B, President. C, Supreme Court, and D, Cabinet. No doubt, answer is A, it's Parliament. Next beta. So you have to know all the salaries of wonderful personalities. President of India, I told you that 5 lakhs. Next, Vice President comes here, it's 4 lakhs. And Governor's salary 3.5 lakh. CJI salary 2.8. Like that we have, right? Please go through all these things, and even you check the number which I gave you also. Sometimes, 5 lakhs, 4 lakhs, even 2.8 is pakka, but even please check yourself once. Then originally fundamental rights grouped into, yes, in the beginning we had 7 fundamental rights, my dear. And of course, now it has become 6, and the 44th Amendment repealed that, that they removed right to power, right to property. So that is why you say now presently we have 6. At the same time in the beginning we had 7 fundamental rights, my dear. President of India's monthly salary, how much actually today? President of India's salary, just I mentioned, that is 5 lakhs beta. Then in 1998, India had definitely 25 states only, because in 2003 we have added another 3 states. So what do we say that? And 29th state was at that time Telangana. So 25 was there, plus 3 plus 1. So definitely I had to give the answer 25 states, option A beta. Now Balwant Rai Mehta committee recommended. See beta, I think it is what Panchayati Raj system. You can say that in olden days we have, from ancient times we have our rural administration. So that was the basic funda for the Balwant Rai Mehta committee. He recommended democratic decentralization. Remember, right? That is called as democratic. The proper word for this is democratic decentralization, nothing but local bodies and rural and urban, that we can say Panchayati Raj Act and Municipal Act. Then come to the point of here, President oath before. Yes, after now the example, X was now the great personality, some XYZ was now elected as President of India. Yeah, before entering his office, the oath is compulsory, my dear. And who will observe? This is what you can say, oath ceremony. Now that is what? Exactly. Chief Justice of India, beta. President oath must be before of CJI. If not, then we can have a chronological order. This is what you can say. Next to CJI. If CJI is not available, then next to CJI, like that. Later on, again, next one, like that. We have 34 members, no doubt in that. We can have it. That's the reason, a beautiful design. Yes. Now question number 42nd, beta. MP oath, called as Member of Parliament oath, before whom it is? Definitely the Speaker, beta. Option B. Now, President of India removed by option A, Prime Minister of India. You can say B, Vice President of India, Chief Justice of India, or impeachment motion. So beta, this is what, nobody will remove him except this is what you can say, impeachment. So President's removal is known as impeachment. It's a very big process, and observe my classes. By that you can get complete picture, right? Even if you want to join any of the courses, PCM of UPSC, of course, you can say Civil Services Examination, Prelims comes mains batch, or individual modules like Polity, Economy, Geography, History, anything, of course, your choice, and a wonderful CSAT. Any module you can join that. And we have additional program called as for law aspirants, you can say national level, if you want to do some in an LU, National Law University. CLAT is the basic, of course, you have to face this exam. CLAT is there, AILET is there. Of course, you can say that beta. SLAT is there. Many exams we have, LAW also we'll provide. So our institute mantra is for IAS and law exams. Remember, just join. Of course, most welcome to my program, and we'll explain each and every point beta. So non-member who can participate but not vote. The same question already repeated. Attorney General of India. Now, what's the minimum age to become the member of Rajya Sabha? This question is, what's the minimum age to become the member of Rajya Sabha is 30 years beta. In the case of Lok Sabha, 25 years only. Now, Constitution divides powers except, yes, Baba, you have different lists are there. State list, central list, right? You can say that, of course, concurrent list, but this will not be. That is what you can say judicial. So judiciary is you only independent judiciary. It's of independent. Only one thing is that. Purely. So we will write in this case, judicial is correct answer for 42nd question beta. 47th, amendment giving parliament, amending power by which amendment? Which amendment giving parliament to amend the amendment power? So that is what for 24th amendment. Yes, option D, my dear. Fundamental duties added by which amendment? Which amendment it is? 44th amendment or 43 or 42nd or 41st? I told you already, it's a 42nd amendment, it's a Minister Constitution, I told you already. Voting age reduced by which amendment? Which amendment? Actually, the questions are there now. We have reduced all the which amendment it is. By 61st amendment already mentioned. The last and final question beta here. This is what here. The presidential election possible if state assembly dissolved. Yes, it is possible, my dear. So option is B. So these are the questions we have. Of course, serious explanation as it's not needed. Now, point in this case, description also we have mentioned, but it's not, but only to check yourself. This is enough, and try all these questions, Baba. I wish you all the best. We'll meet with another video. Just please share this video to the people, those are preparing for different examinations. Of course, at the same time, our UPSC Civil Services and law examination. God bless you. Bye-bye.